Okay, we are doing Dmr E number 6. So your paper should show this in it. You should make sure that you write the key concept. In this case, I'm going to type it, but you guys are going to write it. The digit to the right of the place value determines what happens when rounding. 5 or more, round up. Or less stays the same. Again, if you need to push pause so that you can make sure that you can get all of that written, please do so, but I'm going to continue on in this video. All right, so again, I'm going to continue to state that the important part that you need to remember is that what the instruction says. This one says to the nearest tenth. So the TH at the end, TH right there, tells me that it's a decimal. And in this case, it is the 8 in the tenths place. So I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to underline the one that tells me, or I'll underline where I'm going to underline the number that I'm supposed to stop at, which is the tenths place. So that 8 is where it's supposed to cut off to be finished. So if I look at that 8 and then I look next door, the digit to the right, okay, that 7 tells that 8 to round up. So it is closer to 90 than it is to 80. So therefore, that will be 1,654 and 9/10. Reflection. I need to make sure that I round and stop at the right place value. You do not have to use mine. I say it every time. It's encouraged that you do your own reflection based on your needs and your understanding of the material, but it is not acceptable to do nothing. If you need to push pause, please push pause. Okay, the next key concept that you need to make sure that you've written is the cross products of a proportion are equal. Basically, two equivalent fractions, two ratios that are the same, they're equal. That's the trick of finding out what's the missing number. As long as you know that they're proportional or they're equivalent, then you are good to go. So we are going to use cross multiplication. I am going to do 12.8 times x equals 5 times 82. So if I were typing, which I'm going to do, maybe. So I get 12 and 8/10 times x equals 5 times 82. Now notice that that's step 1. I get rid of the fractions. Step 2, I'm going to work out the multiplication on each separate side. So 12.8 times x turns into 12.8x. I just get rid of the multiplication symbol, bring down my equal, and then I have to do 5 times 82. So I'm going to use my calculator. If it's available, you're supposed to use a calculator. 5 times 82, that is not the right number. 5 times 82 is 410. So 410 is the answer. Now, in order to isolate the x, because our goal is to get that x all the way by itself, I have to use inverse operations to solve. So that means this 12.8 gets moved over by using the opposite operation, which is division. In this case, I'm going to divide that 410 by 12.8. I'll write it out, hopefully. Divided by 12.8. And you're technically dividing both sides by that, but okay, so my calculator is 410 divided by 12.8 equals, still not a pretty number. It's 32 point something. So x, because 12.8 divided by 12.8, that eliminates that. So x equals 32.03125. 32 point tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000ths. So it's 3,125 100,000ths. I'm not going to do good to remember that. So 3125. There we go. Reflection. I know that cross multiplication will solve for an unknown if the ratios or fractions are equal. All right, there you go.